theatre in Cartagena dominates the town and life in the Marina, and this is where we begin this episode. From here, we intend to sail to the inland sea of Mar Menor and explore for a few days before heading across to the Balearics. But this is 2020, and as the pandemic hits, we are suddenly locked down on our boat while at anchor in the Mar Menor. So it's 2 months later before we leave, and because of local restrictions, we head south before finally we continue on our way to Ibiza. But we didn't know about any of that at the beginning of the year, so we start in Cartagena, and the Spanish know how to party. It's the 1st of March, and the festival season is well underway. For us, though, the time has come to move on. And that means provisioning. A trip to the market, fresh fruit and vegetables, all at good prices, and fish. Once we set sail, Steve's determined we will catch our own. But in the meantime, well, let's just say this might be the last good fish dinner for a while. Don't tell Steve I said that.
Taking care of my beers down there.
I am. They're all being packed in with lots of lovely kitchen roll. Never can have too much kitchen roll.
This is the best beer that we've found on our trip so far.
If anyone else wants any, it's bad luck because Steve's bought it all. Anyway, along with our UHT milk, which is our emergency milk, which is actually quite nice. Everyone drinks it around here, so it's absolutely fine. So yeah, I'm just packing some things in, and then we're ready to go, pretty much.
We left Cartagena on a sunny morning without a cloud in the sky. A little apprehensive, but a new season, a new adventure.
Well, we're really off then. Leaving Cartagena, where we've had really a nice winter. Met some really nice people. Hope to catch up with them again when we get to the Balearics. It's a nice day. Good breeze. What more can you ask for?
A cup of tea to start, and that fresh sea air. At this time of year, the weather can change very quickly. A couple of hours later, and a sea mist is on the horizon.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? What's that for?
Just a bit of sea mist chasing us.
What's it going to? Is it going to follow us around the corner?
Good to keep a coat close at hand, just in case.
Well, we didn't see a forecast for sea mist, but there's certainly a forecast for strong winds over the next couple of days. That is the problem really with sailing this early in the season. You never know what you're going to get, but if you're just aware of it, it does mean that you have got the place to yourselves. And we're going to come through the little narrow entrance here and probably hide down underneath this island. It's called the Mar Menor. And the wind's going to be strong, gale force from the northwest, so we should get some shelter just in here. We've just got to watch out for the rocks. But that's a good thing about having islands in here. We can go around. There's going to be a couple of days of wind, so we'll just have to dodge around the island to get in the lee when we need to, and then it should calm down and we can explore a bit.
We're just coming up to the entrance to the Mar Menor now. The bridge goes up every 2 hours on the even hour, so we hope to get up under it at 4 o'clock, where we're on target for that at the moment. We're due to be there at 7 minutes to 4. It's lovely and sunny again. Thank goodness for that. We can actually see. The mist was a little bit unsettling, but it's cleared up now. So looking forward to a few days in the Mar Menor. It's quite built up, as you can see. It's going.
It is.
The week began peacefully. Glassy water, a warm breeze, and time to sail slowly up to the north end of this inland sea. And I mean slowly.
We're nearly breaking 3 knots. Oh, racing.
This is what we had planned, the Mar Menor out of season. Just us and a racing catamaran crew, practicing tacking. The next day began much the same, perfect for exploring.
Well, a lovely morning for a walk.
And it's flat calm, which means it's a smooth ride to shore. We've got a little bit of a way to go and 50% on our battery because we didn't charge it properly last night.
It'll be right. We're only going just over there. It's not too bad. And then we should have quite a long walk, and I've got my walking boots on, so...
Yeah, walking boots.
We've had a what, 10 days on the boat, really, pretty much, not doing much. So yeah, it'd be good to have a good walk today.
Yeah, excellent. I'm looking forward to it. And we might see flamingos.
They're not pink, apparently.
I know, it's a bit risky saying that, just in case we don't see any, but as long as you know that's what we're looking out for.
Yeah, so it's not far to go, and glassy smooth sea. It's a pleasure to be on this.
Okay, so where are we headed for? We're going to that house.
I think we're just aiming for that house and see. I don't think there's a pontoon or anything there, but I don't know. We're just tied up.
Okay. I don't want to lose this dinghy now. It's got a nice motor.
Oh, look, there is something.
So is that a no entry sign then? There?
I think it sort of is going to say don't land there, but I'm hoping that's meaning for big boats. They can't mind a little dinghy, I'm sure. It's nice they've got this. I mean, they've obviously got this little channel marked out, but you can see it's only about 2 foot deep. So I don't think what boat should actually get in here. You can actually just see through the water just about now. It's less green here.
I wonder what it's like outside the channel, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
We could always just knock and ask, don't you think?
Yeah, if there's someone there, we'll ask, yeah. But I think we can just tie up somewhere out of the way. I'm sure they won't mind.
Okay. and go on our long walk.
Yeah. Well, that was private, so we can't go in there. So plan B, heading a little bit further down the coast and see if we can get in down here. There's a little windmill, so it might be a place to stop. So we can't, we can't, sure, yeah, we can't land here because of coronavirus.
Tiene que marcharse a casa.
Yeah. Okay. Gracias.
And at that point, everything changed.
Well, that was a bit of a shock. We saw people out and about, and we were about to land, and then a police car pulled up and told everyone to go back to their houses, including us. So we're going to have to go back to the boat. We asked him why. He said coronavirus. So the whole of the area here is shut down for 16 days. But even out here, I mean, it's wilderness. I mean, there's nothing. There's no gatherings of people. It's complete wilderness. Anyway, apart from not getting our walk, our biggest concern now is that we haven't got enough water on board for more than a couple of days. We've been out for a couple of weeks now. We haven't been that careful with the water because we didn't think there'd be a problem about going into a marina at some point. Kind of regretting that now. We were going to go in and stay overnight on Tuesday night somewhere, and we booked it. But I think when we get back to the boat, we better ring them and see if they'll still have us. If not, just asking if we can at least just go and get some water. Yeah.
On top of that, the battery ran out on the outboard. The day was steadily getting worse.
There we go.
Yes.
Home sweet home. I'm not sure if that should be home sweet home or home sweet isolation ward.
Well, we're not going to last 2 weeks without water,
No, probably not.
so we are going to have to make a decision.
Our water situation isn't desperate at the moment. The big tank is empty, but our second tank does have about 70 litres in it, so that's not too bad. But food is probably a greater concern at the moment. We're down to our last apple. There's not much fresh food left. We've got a tiny bit of bread. And the fridge is fairly empty. We've got the important things. The wine and the beer is okay in there. But we have obviously got lots of tinned things in the freezer, but all those need cooking. And the other problem we've got is we are low on gas. Now, gas is a bit of an issue in the Med, surprisingly, because what we'd normally use are these big 6 kg propane tanks. I used to have 2 of those, and that's great because they last for months, and you've always got a full one, and you never get called out. You've got a couple of months to get a new one, but I had to change over basically because it's very difficult to get propane in some places here. They used to refill them, but they don't do that so much here anymore. So I've got only one of those now. I've got space to keep loads, and I've got this silly little camping gas bottle, which is what you can get here quite easily. So I have to switch between one and the other. One's propane, one's camping gas, but our cooker can use both, so that's okay. But yeah, both of them are almost empty. It was difficult to get propane in Cartagena. They only did the small ones of camping gas. So yeah, we're now at the point where we've just got to go out and get something to cook on, basically.
But it was Sunday and nothing was open, so we needed to think. And you can only really do that over a game of cards.
You wish me every time.
Yeah.
So we're just going to play cards then for 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks, the lockdown? How long? They said the lockdown was...
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
About
No,
2 weeks.
well, we could, but I think we're better off taking the advice we've been given, which is to leave here tomorrow and go up the coast, up to Valencia, where we know we can get water and gas.
If we can get in. I mean, you have rang them and they haven't rang back. It's only the advice of one of our viewers that said they think that they should let us in. We've got to confirm that. But it's a 2-day sail from here.
But the worst that happens is we go in, we get gas and water, and then we go and anchor out.
If they allow us in, yeah. The other option, obviously, is to sail to Ibiza or Mallorca, which again's 2-3 day sail. We could do that.
You're Margrave.
But we don't know if we're going to get in there either, do we?
All right, well, we haven't been doing anything except being at sea for the past 2 weeks. You think we might not be able to come in then? Okay, we would run out of water. Could we come in just to get water, do you think? Okay, all right, thank you so much. Hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday. So the lockdown started today. I've been told that we need to call on Monday to make sure we can go in on Tuesday. We'll have to fill in some forms and prove that we haven't been anywhere where we could have been contaminated. Then hopefully it'll be okay.
So that's a plan. A 2 or 3 day sail up the coast from the Mar Menor to Valencia. But there is a problem, and it's this. We're anchored out here. And you may have seen in the last episode, the only way in or out of the Mar Menor is here, under the opening bridge. Except that now it isn't opening. The lockdown has locked us in. But there could be worse places to be isolated.
Thomas Maestro Marina, Thomas Maestro Marina. This is Fair Isle, Fair Isle. Do you read? Over. I think they're going to answer us. Don't answer the phone, don't answer the VHF. I wonder if there's anyone actually there. Maybe they're all working from home.
As it turns out, there was one person on duty who said he would find out if we could come in.
Well, they did finally answer the VHF just as we got to the entrance here and said that we can't tie up on the waiting quay or the fuel dock and just to stand by. Well, that was 15 minutes ago, so we're just going around in circles blocking their entrance at the moment. I don't quite know what's happening. I think they're just wondering what the hell to do with us. Marinas, is Farewell, go ahead.
Yes, we have ordered not to come ships on the Marina yet. Over.
Yes, I understand that. We do need to come in though. We need water and gas. Over.
We were directed to the fuel pontoon.
So they're not accepting anyone. Well, if you can get us gas, that's a start. And let's hope he's got water.
Unfortunately, there was no water or cooking gas there, so drastic measures were needed. We decided to tie up on the waiting quay and hope someone would allow us to fill the water tanks. Keeping his distance, the marinero finally relented. We could fill up and then go. I could have hugged him. Metaphorically, that is.
So we've got some water then, no food, sadly, or gas. But we're going to go back down to the anchorage, the second anchorage we went to, which is down here. We know that if we're in there, we can get to a spa quite quickly, which hopefully we can do on Monday or Tuesday. Meanwhile, Judy's doing her best to find what we've got. What have we got? Got stuff in the freezer?
Yeah, well, I I thought I'd just put everything we could in the oven at once.
Just cook it all, yeah. Yeah, at least we can eat it then, even if it's cold. That's a good idea.
Exactly. We've got a curry.
Yeah. Cold curry might be a bit disgusting. We've got some pasties. They would be okay, wouldn't they?
Okay, hang on. Pasties, veggie sausages, eel sausages. I think that's...
Yeah, sausages are okay cold, aren't
Yeah. There's more cheese? I've got some more cheese out, didn't I? Oh, there's some more bread. There's more bread, so I'll leave this in here, shall I?
they? Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to dinghy over to the beach there and try and find a spa because we are running a bit short of food. We spoke to a friend last night who said that if you were definitely going to a supermarket or a pharmacy and could prove it, so we've got our bags with us, then that should be fine. We don't know how much food there'll be in the spa when we get there, because it's the only one around that we know of, but we'll give it a go.
There's no one around, is there? It looks completely empty. No policemen though, so that's good. Well, we found a spot on the beach. Let's see if we can find a spa. We know there is one, we've been to it before. It's about a 20-minute walk from here, and it's pretty deserted here this time of year anyway, so we're hoping that it still has some food in it. We shall find out.
We saw a couple of people on the balconies.
Yeah, but there's no one out.
No.
They're the only people here. It's like the apocalypse has happened.
Well, I mean, that's what a lockdown looks like.
Yeah, I suppose it does. So you really take it seriously, and they are taking it seriously here, as we found out. Let's just hope that spa shop's open. You can pretty much always rely on a spa to be open, I would say.
This must be lovely in the summer, but now it's empty and spookily quiet. But the spa shop is open.
As I say, you can always rely on a spa.
Yay! Very pleased. How lucky are we? Big grin.
Yeah,
Vegetables,
full
and
shelves.
biscuits, and it's just like a normal day. Well, almost.
We did find a couple of empty shelves, but ta-da!
It is a relief. Now we just have to sit tight for the next couple of weeks.
So a very successful trip for food, but I think the key is getting these. We didn't have any disposable barbecues, but basically we're going to make our own. We've got some tin trays. We can just put one of our grills over the top of that and hopefully cook all our meals on these now.
For the next 2 weeks.
For the next 2 weeks, that'll be fine. We still haven't got gas, so I have got the barbie out running here. I've got my heavy duty wind gag on, but I'll tuck it in there and try and go outside. You might still be able to hear me, hopefully. I'll cover it up a little bit, but it is still blowing pretty bad out here. It's probably about 30 knots now. We had 45 knots last night. But we're pretty sheltered. We've got a good position. Bridle's straining away there, so it's not ideal. And I do have a problem, the anchor chain. I won't go into that now, but we're going to be doing a special on anchor chain. I'm going to have to change mine pretty soon. That's all underway. But yeah, we've just got to sit it out really. It'd be nicer if the sun comes out and the wind stops a bit. I mean, it would actually be quite pleasant out here.
Our main aim was to cook enough so we didn't have to do this every day. Barbecues, wind and a wooden boat. Not a great combination.
Wow, that is really working. I have to admit I wasn't sure this is going to work out, but actually that's bubbly going, ooh, nicely. So, I mean, this is enough for a week. I think I overdid the vegetables.
You've cooked for a whole marina. We can't give this to anyone. We can't go in.
I wasn't sure if it was going to work, and I wasn't sure, how often we're going to be able to do this, because it is really windy. I mean, it's just about protected here, but out here, look.
It is a point actually, because we want to at some stage get a barbecue on the stern rail, don't we? But in fact, in this, you couldn't use it. I couldn't light it. I had difficulty lighting it here. But
this is great. I mean, this is a really good plan. Well done.
It's a bit precarious. And we shouldn't really do a wide shot because we're sitting here in our pyjamas. I think half the world's in their pyjamas at the moment, though, so I think we'll get away with it.
Yes.
The oven gloves weren't as fireproof as you might expect.
Oh my goodness.
Blown to pieces out here. Lovely. Well done.
Yeah.
Managed it.
It's hot.
So we've got another potentially, almost 2 weeks of this, 10 days of this.
Yeah, we'll be fine by then. We'll have got this working properly. Look, now we found this, that will stop things burning, I think.
Yeah, just dismantle the oven and take the bottom out of the oven. That was a stroke of genius. Well done.
And when the wind drops...
Well, when the wind drops, it
will be much more pleasant.
But then, yeah, we've got to make our escape plan. As soon as they get the bridge open, got to decide where and when we can go.
Well, we'll see what the rules are when we finish and what the results are of the lockdown. I hope it's been successful. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, the wind is howling again. We have to get rid of those coals before they burn down and blow everywhere.
Exactly.
And we'll have this and then I'll do that.
Okay.
Now, what we really need is a game. A race around the boat. I never said a word. The Mar Menor is beginning to feel like home, so we decided to find out a bit more about the place. In the 60s it was a wilderness, and the strip dividing it from the sea was a sandbank. In the 70s it was bought up by the lawyer Thomas Maistre, who began development, first with a road and then blocks of apartments and holiday homes. Even the two volcanic islands were developed for tourism. Now one's private and the other left for the birds. In 1975, a channel was dug to let in bigger ships and develop the tourism area further. The only problem is that at the same time, this changed the salinity of the water, leading to a growth in algae. Add that to the nitrates from the farmland around, and the water began to look like this. Last year, when we first arrived in Cartagena, we had 2 days of storms, incredible rain and hailstones, putting a layer of fresh water on top of the sea. This stopped oxygen getting to the lower levels and killed thousands of fish. 55,000 people took to the streets of Cartagena demanding the local government protect the environment of the Mar Menor, and millions of euros has been pledged. Now the whole region, like the rest of Spain, is in lockdown. In our time here, we have seen fishing boats come out again to lay nets, but the ecosystem and the water is far from healthy.
The water here in the Mar Menor is safe to swim in. It's a little bit chilly at the moment. It'll warm up quickly, it's quite shallow. But you can see it's pretty green, and it's not really something we want to use for cooking or washing up even. So we are going to run out of our supplies of fresh water more quickly than we would in the open sea.
The first sign for us that life is improving in Spain is this: laying nets at dawn and bringing them in at night. The fishing industry is back in business, and Steve can't resist exploring.
So there are some signs of life returning to the Mar Menor. There are quite a few fishermen out this morning. You can see they've put quite a long net in here, pretty much around it. It's some sort of gill net. Have a little look down here. Very fine net, and it goes on for about 1/4 mile all the way down there. So you have to watch out for this when you're sailing around here. They do mark the ends. You can see here the 2 flags, but you could be forgiven for thinking they were just lobster pots, and they're not. You'll see sort of a couple of them, and then a couple of them 1/4 mile away, and there's a net between, so you don't really want to be going down there. You might not even see the floats. If you come around here, you'll see underwater, and that's about 1 metre underwater, so you've got no chance of seeing those ones. So yeah, you've got to be really careful. If you find little sets of these flags, then don't go between them, because there's liable to be a net and it might be just submerged.
This is one of the few days we've had without wind and rain, so for the first time in a while we decided to leave Fair Isle and get some exercise. That means a trip to the deserted island. where the plan is to avoid the seagulls and find a good place to run.
Not really running track type ground though, is it? The gulls are out, keeping an eye. I've got my hat on though in case they want to poop on us. Been there before.
Wanna move my feet, wanna drop on one. Wanna move my feet, wanna drop on one. Wanna move my feet, wanna drop on one. Wanna move my feet, wanna drop on one.
With sunshine and our solar shower bag full, that means hot water.
So the time has come. The hair's got far too long, so we're going to have to attack it. Judy's going to have a bit of a go, I'm going to have a bit of a go. Judy hasn't got a very good track record at this, she's only ever done it once with the oldest daughter Emily, and I think she was 4 years old, and I think the picture has been destroyed. That's about how bad that was.
I could tie it up for you. I could probably plait it.
Not having a pony.
Oh my god.
Didn't even have a ponytail when I was young and trendy like that now.
You were never trendy, Steve.
That's very true.
Is it still warm?
It's boiling. It really works.
Excellent.
Great. Shower bag.
The week began with an unsettled sea, and all we can do is sit and wait. The circling seagulls know the storm is coming, it is just a matter of when.
Oh yeah, that's the lightning actually within the cloud up there. It's not coming down to earth, it's just up in there.
A bit late to remember we'd left our shoes on the push pit.
Rescue the shoes.
Seemed like a good idea at the time to leave them out.
Then, as always, the calm after the storm.
There's a lot of colors, I don't know where to go. See a lot of colors, only feeling blue.
Yeah, good job.
What would really help if you sat on the other side? Because it's much easier for me to row without you in it.
I'm paddling. Paddling's helping. Anyway, this is supposed to be an exercise in exercise.
Yep.
Paddle back to front as well.
Hey?
They are curved slightly, the paddles.
Oh.
Have them back to front.
Oh, is that why I wasn't doing it very well?
On the open sea, cannot take this anymore.
And time for some R&R.
quite interesting. These are the nets that we see all around, and these are the bits that come around in a circle. And I think this bit here is the bit that they chase them into. The umbrella is out, but don't worry, it's not to do with the weather. It's actually beautiful here now, perfect weather, but I need to do a little bit of sanding on the insides here. You can see of the hatches. You always get, you know, the worst of the sunlight in there, and I didn't do them this winter. I don't want to make a mess, so I'm going to use the old trick of putting the umbrella down here, open it out, and you catch all the dust. Well, that's the plan anyway. So what I've done with my sanding block, I've got two and I can't find either of them. Not much wind about, but I think what there is going that way, so we'll go over here. So this is quite exciting. This is our first evening walk, isn't it? We've had a morning walk.
Yeah.
This is second day, and we're now allowed out as of 8 PM. We can go out for a walk.
The beaches have been pretty much full of people all day because the children are allowed out up until 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
They've all got their curfew now.
Yeah, it's cleared out now, isn't it? I think there's a
Yeah.
couple I can just see at the edge of the beach
Yeah.
there, but yeah, they'll all have to go in, and then the adults can come out between 8 and 10 to have a walk. So
Promenade, I think. the word
promenade,
is.
yeah. So that's what we can do. We've had our tea. It would be nice to be sort of going ashore and stopping at a bar for a beer, but that's not going to happen just yet.
The
So let's
11th. You've got another week or so.
Yeah. But it's lovely. It's been a lovely day. It's black calm. I mean, look how beautiful that is.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It's just a mist in the background there, so it's really nice. Oh, there's a very nice boat in the foreground there.
I've seen people for the past 2 or 3 weeks from the boat walking their dogs down here. I've never been quite sure whether it's a proper path or not, and now I'm thinking probably not, because it's a bit rough and ready, isn't it?
It's a little bit rough and ready, but yeah, it's just a little,
But it's a path.
it's a way of getting around. I love all this. It's just verbena that grows everywhere, and some of it, the lemon verbena, really smells nice. Well, that's how you get your gel coat nice and shiny. I think he's spent his time in lockdown coming out and polishing by the look of it. Look at it, it's lovely. A little drop down bow thruster as well. Very nice. Right, give it a push.
Gonna go back.
This is the first time we've been really optimistic about continuing with our plans to head east. This could work out. Our first plan is to get under the bridge. It's a 10-minute motor from the boatyard, and we're planning to hit the 2 PM lift.
Let's hope. So this could be it. This could be our escape. How long have we been in?
10 weeks.
10 weeks.
Yeah.
We came in for a week, didn't we, to have a little look?
Yeah.
2 weeks
I
later.
mean, it's been pleasant enough. I mean, let's not be fussy about it. It's been fine. But it would be nice to go somewhere else. That's the thing. It'd be nice just to go around the corner to this bay that's been recommended to us. Have a different supermarket.
I just want to clean the bottom. We're taking roots
And
in
clear
there.
water, yeah. Yeah, Brad said it's clear water, which would be lovely.
But are they actually manning it? Brad told us, Brad should know because he works here, that it's definitely opening as it should do, every even hour, every 2 hours.
Yeah.
But we know someone that lives in an apartment. It must be one of the ones over there. They said it's overlooking it, didn't they?
Well, they said they can see the bridge and it hasn't opened yet. But if there's no one waiting, you wouldn't open it, would you? But we're clearly waiting, so let's see. Let's see.
We did see the barriers come down last time, didn't we, for the cars?
That's right. We did.
Well, let's see if we see that this time. No, the barrier's definitely up. I can see the barrier is up.
Okay. It's coming down. I can see it. It's coming down now. Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
The road
yep.
barrier?
Your road barrier. Yep. Definitely down. It shouldn't be this exciting. It really shouldn't. But wow, 10 weeks.
It was a ridiculously wonderful sight. And just as we were exiting to go out to sea, the bridge operator wished us fair winds. I love the Spanish. This is quite a shallow bit, so Steve's having to navigate that. Oh, it's quite exciting. Seems another world since we came here. We only came for a week. At the moment we can't go very far, so we anchored just the other side of the bridge in the abandoned marina. Then an evening trip ashore to thank those who have helped us.
We haven't completely run out of battery. You just thought you'd have a row, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit of a row, good bit of exercise. And hopefully, I mean, we are quite low because we've used it a fair bit today, but I brought the charger, so hopefully we can actually charge it up a little bit while we're there. We won't have to row back. So I think after a few pints I might not want to row back.
I think that's probably true. Hola.
Hello.
We finally made it.
This is Pauline, and this is us social distancing.
Anyway, yes,
A wonderful, relaxing evening.
I failed you so many times. I committed so many crimes, and I was pretty sure of myself. You gave me reasons to be somebody else. Baby, I'm home again. I thought that I could run away, run away. I had nothing more to say, more to say. I was pretty sure of myself. You
Well, we've just anchored in this lovely bay, but the bilge pump has just gone off. So instead of playing cards, which was our plan, while we wait to see if the anchor's set, Steve is down here. Yeah, what happened?
I don't know yet. We are sinking very slowly.
What?
Well, it's just a bit of water coming in. I mean, I turned the bilge pump off, and you could then see the level just rise back up again. So I'm going out all the through holes, just putting all the stopcops over. But I think actually,
What do you mean by sinking?
well, we're just taking on a bit of water, darling. But the bilge pump can keep up with it. I'll just turn it off. You'll get that horrible noise where
Yeah, no, turn it off.
the anti-siphon does it. But that's, I think, probably what it is. Let's wait for that to stop. So yeah, it will stop, but then the level comes back up again, and it sets off. So it's sort of slowly taking on water. Now because we changed the anchor chain, I cleaned the anchor locker. That water goes in the bilge. And while we were out sailing, when we were right out at shore, I put the engine bilge pump on. So that was the first one I checked on the through hull. In here, it will be coming back through here.
Well, I can't so much see it.
You can hear it, can't you?
Yeah.
Because I've lifted the strainer out and there's water running back through. So that's what sucks the water up, but it's siphoning back in. So I think we've got some rubbish in the anti-siphon valve, so that's the one I need to stop. I'll just go and close the seacock and we should be all right. We shouldn't sink. Hurrah!
Okay, yeah. Hurrah!
A beautiful bay, clear water, and time to relax and take in the Spanish summer sun. This is what I imagined the Mediterranean to be like. Tree-lined parades give us the chance to stretch our legs, while the beaches are still virtually empty, except for the locals. There are a few boats here. Most like us have been here all winter. Others, well, I'll let Steve take up the story.
And this guy here, who came in last night, can't really see because it's a wide angle on this lens, but he's about 30 metres from me, 25 metres. I've got 40 metres of chain out. There's no need to do that. You've got a great big bay here, could go anywhere you wanted. Fortunately, when he came in, I could look at my anchor alarm and see exactly where my anchor was, and I could see that actually it wasn't a big problem. It was the other direction from where he had put his anchor, but he had no idea where it is. Because you have no idea where people's anchors are in very light winds, you should give them a little bit more space, not less. If the wind comes up and everyone straightens out, you want to be far enough away. As it turns out, anchoring a bit too close was the least of this chap's problems. Here's my anchor. It's good sand here, so unsurprisingly, it's set fine. So let's have a look at the Beneteau. No snubber, but there's no strong wind forecast, so maybe we can let him off with that one. We do get freak gusts out of the hills here, so it's as well to put one on though. And have a bit more scope than this. It's anchored with hardly any. Oh, it is not actually anchored. Do you think he didn't want to get his anchor dirty? Regular viewers will know we're planning a technical special on our anchor chain that we've just fitted. Well, now that's going to be on the whole process of anchoring. Hopefully out next week.
In the meantime, a bit more about La Azoria. There is a road that takes you quite a long way up to a lookout post, which is unfortunately closed. Then a path takes you further up for no reason at all, except to get to the top. Oh, and there are some fantastic views.
Oh wow, look. That looks fun.
Yeah. They're off out into the ocean.
It's not for the faint-hearted, but once you get up high, it's worth it. Always.
Okay. If you've watched the What Cruising Boat video, you'll know that I'm a big fan of cutters. You know, I've had a lot of catches, more catches than cutters, but I think a cutter makes a better cruising boat. A lot of people say they don't like them because when you tack, there's, you know, having two foresails to deal with is a pain. Well, it's not really, because you can do them one at a time. I'll show you. We're going to tack now. I'll leave this here. Are you ready, Jude?
Yep.
So obviously the mainsail will look after itself. Once Jude is round, we'll get the Yankee round, let the staysail just back, and then deal with that after. So it does no harm to back the staysail. In fact, it helps you get round pretty quick. So yeah, there's no hassle really. You can get all that done, and then as soon as that's done, the only other thing to change is pull the car over on the mainsail. It just gets the boom more central, balances us up better. We really haven't got much wind here. There's only, well, we've got 8 knots apparent, so it's probably 5 knots true. So it's a wonder we're moving at all, really.
Undeterred, we set off up another mountain, where we were told there was a marked track.
Like a mountain goat.
I know, well, sort of.
It is lovely, look at this, it's just lovely rosemary everywhere. It smells great. But there is a good path.
The right way.
Once you're here, this is a proper path. Yeah, I thought it was actually going to be a road, because looking from the boat, you see this brick wall here. There's going to be a road behind it, but it is just a track. It's pretty amazing.
Well, I had one over there, so...
Well, that's it. It goes all the way around.
Yeah.
It's a coastal path. It goes all the way. I mean, it is a marked path. You could see it on No Foreign Land. It had it marked.
There are even looking points along the way, so although we were on our own, I can imagine this walk can get quite busy. And of course there are options to cut corners, especially with Steve leading the way.
And the constructions, we're in the middle of nowhere. And they've just got this incredible path. And obviously it's guarding the bay that overlooks Cartagena. Cartagena's right in there. And we showed all the fortifications around that. There's loads. Amazing. What people built in wartime. I don't know what war they built this in though.
The castle was built in the 1920s to protect the military base in Cartagena. This strategic location is over 200 metres above the sea, and someone decided to make it pretty.
And this just looks like a Disneyland castle, doesn't it? Look at that. I'd be surprised to see Mickey Mouse come out the door. It's incredible. Got views over the bay where we're anchored, and also views right out into the Med. Wow.
I'm trying to get my bearings. Cartagena's that way.
No, Cartagena's over there. Cartagena's over there. That's where we sailed yesterday, back from Azoia.
Oh.
Through here, around the corner. Quite choppy.
I'm lost then.
A maze of avenues and turrets overlooking the sea from several directions. The other notable feature are these cannons, which have a firing range of 35 kilometres. A good thing they had some drawings to make sure they hit the right ships.
So it's a lovely morning. A bit rolly though. It's been rolly in this anchorage since we've got here, and last night was pretty bad. I'm glad we stayed here though, because it was nice to do the walk up the hills yesterday, but we're giving up now. The rest of our friends in here that are anchoring along with us, apart from two, have gone further up west, up the coast, up to the Mar Menor. That's really the only place we're going to get out of this swell, so we're going to have to do that as well if we're going to have any sleep. I'll just show you a little bit about how the boat is at the moment. You can see it's just that constant movement. It's not too bad, but gets a little bit wearing. So we'll go up there. We've got to go west anyway, because the Mar Menor is a better jumping off place to get across to Ibiza and Formentera from. We can sort of do it in well, a long day really. Even now it's the summer, we could the days are long enough to do it without an overnight, but we might actually just do it as an overnight. Don't mind overnight sailing, but that hopefully will be on Monday, so that's the thing we're looking forward to now.
It turned out to be a lovely sail up the coast, and we were heading east at last. But rather than go back under the bridge to the Mar Menor, we're staying here in an abandoned ferry terminal. It may not look that great, but it has good protection, which is just as well. This morning we are going to Ibiza. It's a good time to go because the wind is in the right direction, and it looks like it's going to be there for what, the next 24 hours, Steve? You reckon it's going to take us that long?
Well, yeah, I'm hoping that for once the wind will stay good through the night. Just looking at the swell on this one, there's not too much swell. The wind's going to be from behind us, so that can get uncomfortable if there's too much swell, which quite often there is coming through the Straits of Gibraltar, but it's not too bad at the moment. And it looks like we've got sort of south-southwest, 15 knots of breeze right behind us as we're going from here up to either Ibiza or Formentera. Probably Formentera we'd do. We've done this trip before, and if you remember on that trip we did lose the wind, didn't we, as it got to sort of midnight, which is quite normal for the Med. This time, fingers crossed, touch wood, we're going to actually be able to sail all the way and not most of the last bit.
Yay! A following wind, a gentle rocking from the swell, and we are on our way. But without a spinnaker, our best bet with the foresail is a poled out Yankee. It works for us. A gentle sail through the fish farms, then out into the open sea.
Well, that's a nice feeling to be on our way. The wind has filled in a little bit. We haven't got 15 knots, but we've probably got 10. Got the Yankee poled out and full main, and I'm hoping that we can pretty much stay like this all the way over. It looks like we're going to have wind all night, and that's the key to it. If we can sail through the night, then I'm happy.
The weather is perfect for just relaxing and reading. We left before some of our friends with faster boats because we all wanted to reach Formentera during daylight tomorrow. By mid-morning, they're not so far behind.
It's getting pretty windy, and do you see that, Steve? I think Chris is catching us.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing the sails. Fairly pointless exercise because obviously he's going to go steaming past us. I just looked on the AIS, he's doing 8.6 knots. Amazing. Those blue sails, fast cats, look what you can do.
This is Chris and his fast cat with light, high-tech sails. We talked to Chris when he bought them, but this is the first time he's been able to test them out. It's a pleasure to watch, however briefly. Our 6 knots, it so happens, is just the right speed for some other friends. Dolphins just play. This is for fun. And they kept with us until lunchtime.
So we managed to provision nicely before we came out. This time the markets and shops and things are starting to open, and we can get decent fresh fish, and I've got some herbs and mozzarella and things like that, so that's nice. I'm going to make some calamari, some tempura batter here we've got. Apparently the trick to tempura batter is keeping it really cold, but using ice water, and I've got some ice water actually below it there as well to keep it really cold. And then I'll drop some of these. I don't know if that oil's hot enough yet, we'll find out. Cooking with hot fat on a moving boat is probably not recommended, but hey ho, we'll be careful. So that's that. There you go. Very nice. And we've got a good view too. The sun goes down.
And we are about, I'd say, a fifth of the way there.
A bit more than that, I think, quarter of me.
So we're due to get in at 11 at the moment.
11 in the morning.
Yeah, but we're
Well,
doing.
that's perfect, I think. You can still see Chris ahead there, but he's going to get there early hours unless he slows down.
I'm going to laugh at him. He's going to get there in the dark unless he slows, which I don't think he'll do.
The breeze dropped slightly and changed direction overnight. Even with the preventer, it was quite rocky, so we took the mainsail down. But we were keeping a steady 4 knots with the Yankee. It got a little chilly after sunset, and the swell meant it wasn't a night for much sleep, even for me. And I can usually sleep anywhere. But the sky was clear, and out at sea it is incredibly peaceful.
There's no lights on the horizon, and there's nothing within about 15 miles on the AES, so I think it's time to just stick the ears in, find a podcast, and lie back and look at the stars.
It was a very dark night, and the moon only showed itself just before the sun in the early morning. There it is. Not much help.
It has been a truly rocky night. It's been like this all night. We're now doing about 3 knots. What makes it worthwhile is, if I come behind me, that. The sunrise. Isn't it beautiful?
Time for breakfast.
After the last episode, some people were wondering why we were shopping at Tesco's in Spain. Well, the answer is quite simple. Bacon sandwiches. On passage in the morning. I think it's just me. Well, maybe it's just me. Judy doesn't do it because she's a veggie now. But bacon sandwich is a must. And perfect on a morning like this morning. It's a bit rolly, but it's sunny, it's warm. I'm only doing 4 knots because there's not much wind left. But I can sit down and enjoy my bacon sandwich.
With the wind still behind us, we were heading from Murcia to the east side of Formentera to give us the best protection. It is a large anchorage with enough sand so that the anchor and chain avoid the seagrass, which is protected by Spanish law. With a little more wind off the island, we put the mainsail back up. We were still moving slowly, but that gives us time to see the sights. We arrived into a calm anchorage with a beautiful sunset and a good night's sleep. The next day we were joined on a hike by Nicola from Yacht Emerald. The climb took about an hour along a good trail. The view from the top was breathtaking.
This is a fantastic Roman road which thousands of people will have walked up, including us now. And the view over there, there's Ferrol. Can you see Ferrol? Is absolutely fantastic. You can see how the island goes down with sea on both sides. And Ibiza is over there.
We were pretty much alone on the walk except for some local 4-legged friends. I've never seen one quite that turquoise colour before. I'm told they can grow new tails, so don't worry about this one. Another beautiful evening, but overnight the swell came into the anchorage, which made for a very unsettled sleep. By dawn we'd had enough, so we got an early morning start for a short trip around to the western side of Formentera. By chance we stumbled across one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, and it was empty.
So that's the anchorage that we're pretty much all in now because the wind had changed round. And I mean, the good thing about Formentera, any island really, is that you can just sort of nip round the other side of the island, because this side was where we were before, over there. And yeah, the wind just changed a little bit, got a little bit rough, so we've all come around this side, and it's lovely, isn't it? I mean, it's just
beautiful.
Gentle, beautiful anchorage.
We're going up there now. I don't know if you can see where we are. There's a boardwalk.
Yeah, there's all these dunes in between, isn't there?
So I think you have to go on the boardwalk over the dunes to protect them.
And we have our nice morning walk. It's perfect time. It gets reasonably busy here later, but at the moment got the place to ourselves. One of the beauties of having a boat, you're already here, aren't you? The holiday makers have to travel here. I mean, I think that a lot of them actually come in from Ibiza on the ferries. There's a sort of ferry service across, so you know, it's a lovely place to be, but I don't think there's a lot of hotels and accommodation here, so you know, people just come for the day, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Shoes back on and a mission to find breakfast, or at least a cafe. A lovely cup of coffee, and I bet tonight this place will be buzzing because people can just come off the beach there.
It's my time to ride it now. It's your time. Oh, if you're on the bus, say yeah. Yeah. If you're on the train, say yeah. Yeah. If you gotta walk, say yeah. Yeah. Everybody's going somewhere. Yeah. Young or old, I really don't care. Yeah. Life has never really been fair. Yeah. So put your fist up in the air. Yeah. Say yeah. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time, it's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time, it's my time to ride it out. It's your time, oh.
But it's a lovely evening, so we're off to meet some friends for sundowners on the beach. As well as enjoying a few beers, this was a good chance to catch up with Nicola, who writes a sailing blog called Yacht Emerald. She and her husband Colin have been sailing around the Med for the last 6 years, so I sought her advice on where to go.
If you are going to Mallorca and you want a place that's like completely wild, no hotels on the land, I would recommend Cala Magrana, which is about halfway up the west coast, and you can watch the goats running on the cliffs in the evening when the sun's setting. It's beautiful.
And overall, just generally, you've obviously been sailing around the Med for well, many years now, 6 years. What keeps you here?
Oh, well, there's so much to see. I mean, your chart has got another heart, like the full size again in this direction. And so every season we've spent a season in Turkey, we've spent a season in the Aegean, we spent a season along the south coast of France, Sardinia, Corsica we've visited. Tunisia, there's just so much to see, and every country has its own culture and interest. So Croatia, of course, too. Can't forget Croatia.
Okay.
And Turkey is like some of the most friendliest people and welcoming people, and many of the people are living on much less than we are, and yet they still welcome you with open arms and very, very friendly and kind. We didn't expect to be here so long, maybe like 2 or 3 years. Yeah, we're still here.
And I can see why. This place is gorgeous.